What's happening, campers? Davey Deathray here, and I am pumped because we've got our very first set photos and first look at Linda Cardellini as Pamela Voorhees in A24’s upcoming Crystal Lake TV show. Now, the upcoming clip is from one of my live streams where I cover news, and sometimes I go live just to have a topical discussion or bring somebody on to interview. So if you're new to the channel, this is the perfect time to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss a thing. Before we jump into it, I do want to give credit to the folks who took these pictures. So we've got Frank Riker from the Slaughterland Movie Podcast and Frankly Speaking. He took the set photos of the Crystal Lake show. I'll make sure to drop a link in the description to Frank's channel and also to the video where he showed these pictures for the first time. He also goes around and shows a bit more of the set area. So if you want to check that out, I encourage you to do so. Frank is awesome. He's hilarious and he's a great content creator. And as far as the Pamela Voorhees first look goes, that was posted on the Alone in the Dark podcast's Instagram story. So I just snapped the shot from that story and I'm sharing it here. I hope you guys really enjoy the clip here, and if you do, make sure to hit that like button and also jump down into the comments and let me know your thoughts. I'm really excited to hear what you guys think about these set photos and of course that Pamela reveal. So here we've got a shot of the main cabin, and we've got a few things we can gather from the picture here. So they've got some of their lighting equipment there on the right side. They've covered that with plastic, of course, to keep it all safe. We've even got, like, down in the foreground, you can see a garbage can. It has 3 words on it. I can only make out the first 2, but it says set dressing something or other. So I'd imagine that's just something for the crew to use when they're getting either the inside or the exterior of the set ready to go. But guys, if you look closely above the deck here, and I've got a closer image that I can show you there, we do have a little sign that says welcome campers. I love the lettering on there. It looks like it's, all the letters, the font is sort of like forged out of, tree branches, wood of some sort. So it's definitely got that retro 70s feel. We've been told the show is going to take place in the 70s, so very fitting and right along with that time. So we'll move on here to a shot of Crystal Lake, the titular lake of the show. And yeah, we've got, of course, more caution tape, some cables there on the right side. Looks like just, power for the lighting and all that fun stuff. But if you take a closer look in the center right side of this picture, right between the bars on that barricade, you can see the dock, and I'll give you a closer look here. So there we go. Now we've got, I don't know, maybe they'll build something special or something extra for the TV show. I'm not sure, but yeah, we've got a little bit of a shot of the dock there, and I really dig the way, I know this is shot in the same area that they did the original film and everything. I'm digging the look. To me, there are certain spots when you get out there, they're just kind of timeless. Of course, we're looking at the barricade and the fence and everything, but I can imagine standing on the shore of the lake and looking out, and it's just got this timeless feel. You could picture yourself, back in the 70s, when the TV show is set to take place, and a really nice, serene lake that nothing bad would ever happen in, right? Or happen around, right? And here we go. We've got one of the vehicles that's being used in the show. Guys, I had no idea what this is, so I looked it up, and it is a 1969 Pontiac Firebird. And I can show you a picture here. So there we go. So that's the same year, make, and model. That's a restored version of the vehicle. So yeah, you can notice the grille, the headlights, and of course the lights, the little lights down below are an exact match for what we've got here. There's a little bit of a different hood here, where if you look on that our right side of the hood, there's a little, I don't know, another little air vent or something that peeks up. Looks like that's just, maybe one of the customizable features on that year, make, and model. So but we can tell for sure that this is a 1969 Pontiac Firebird, which fits right in. So still would have been, a relatively new vehicle in the early 70s. And then on the right side of the picture here, we can see some of the crew back there. At least one member of the crew. Maybe there's another person. It's tough to tell, but it looks like they're getting something ready. And then even on that tree, just to the left of the crew member, you can see a like a hand painted restroom sign pointing campers in the direction of the facilities. So maybe that's something that was already there that they've just kept there. It also kind of has that look and feel, kind of bringing us back to the good old days of the 1970s. And then up next, we've got our next little batch of vehicles here. These two were a little bit tougher. The car not as much, but I had a tough time with that motorcycle. But the police car here, 1970s Plymouth Fury, big time police vehicle. But all the 70s Furies that I looked at, they kind of had this rounded back. They didn't have as more of like an acute or closer to like a right angle back. So I was like, well, maybe we're going back into the 60s for this Plymouth Fury, and I was able to find out that this car here is a 1967 Plymouth Fury 3. So here we can take a look. This is almost the exact same like color and everything. It's not, revamped to be a police vehicle, but here we go. That is the exact same that we're seeing here in this picture. So we can confirm that the police vehicle is a 1967 Plymouth Fury 3. And then with the motorcycle here, this one, guys, this one was a little tougher. So in the original Friday the 13th, they use, I believe it is either a 79 or an 80 Harley Davidson Electra Glide. I'm like, well, it's got to be a little bit earlier for this one here. Guys, it was so difficult to nail down exactly what year, make, and model this motorcycle is in this one. So let me see if I can show you what I've got here up on my web page. So I'm thinking that this is a 1971 Harley Davidson Electra Glide. I wasn't able to confirm it, but I would imagine maybe some slight modifications that they've used, but you can see here, the back is very similar. It's got that raised seat that we're seeing in the photo from the set. So I do believe that we're looking at a 1971 Harley Davidson Electra Glide. So let me get that right back up there. And yeah, modifications and everything, but again, fitting right in with the time. It's very similar to the one that, they're really doing a good job of matching that look and feel from the original film, even though the original film, takes place in the late 70s, early 80s. I guess it would technically be 79 is when the first film takes place. So I love seeing the attention to detail here. I think it's great. This is all looking really good. Again, we don't really have much, but here on the Davey Death Ray channel, we're going to keep on, covering this news as it comes out. So, stay tuned for more videos, of course, but we got to get into the big one, folks. So this picture is from the Alone in the Dark podcast over on Instagram. This was shared on their Instagram story yesterday, and it's our very first look at Linda Cardellini as Pamela Voorhees. So there she is. She's looking great. She's all ready to cook. She's got her hair up, no hairnet, but her hair is up. This is a good look, fitting with the time, of course. Yeah, it's just, it's just exciting to see this. It's like she's actually there on set. They're filming. This is great. I looked for this picture elsewhere. I was like, man, has Bloody Disgusting shared this? Has anyone else shared this? So I was fortunate enough to snag it from the Instagram story and be able to share it here with you guys. So yeah, first look at Pamela Voorhees, folks. What do you guys think of the set photos? What do you think of our first look at Pamela in her apron and her, cook dress there? Let me know in the chat if you're watching live, if you're watching after the fact. Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. Because yeah, guys, we're going to be covering not only the A24 Crystal Lake TV show news, we're going to be covering all of the Friday the 13th news here on the channel. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled and you'll get more and more.